Sun unleashes X-class solar flare, blasts third coronal mass ejection toward Earth in a week. There are now 3 different coronal mass ejections, CMEs, heading toward our planet, which could mean increased opportunities this weekend to see the aurora across the northern U.S. and Europe. CMEs are massive blasts of magnetic field and plasma that originate from solar flares from the sun, which can lead to powerful geomagnetic storms for us on Earth. These storms are what give skywatchers the chance to witness the stunning showcase of colors across the night sky known as auroras. 2 CMEs were already earthbound from M-class solar flares that erupted on Wednesday, August 7, and scientists at National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA's Space Weather Prediction Center, SWPC, confirmed in their forecast discussion that another one originated from an X-class flare on Thursday, August 8. These CMEs are timed up perfectly with the peak of the Perseid meteor shower on August 11 and 12, meaning skywatchers could potentially catch not one stunning celestial spectacle this weekend, but 2. The real can only be experienced in freedom. I'm giving you wise directions and leading you aright. When you walk, you will never be hindered. When you run, you will not slip. Hold fast to my instructions, never let them go, keep them, they are life to you. Prov. 4:11-13. Many people, in fact the majority of people, think that the images of saints and masters help to free them. But freedom does not come through concentration on any saint or master or any external object of adoration. In fact, it brings the opposite. Freedom is not formulated. Freedom is not a product of the mind as most of us think. Freedom comes when all formulations are understood. A belief is a formulation of the mind, it is not a truth. We cannot find freedom in the mind, for the mind is bound by suggestions. Even a belief is a suggestion that binds us. We are free from the beginning, and only when there is freedom from self-identifying memory is this freedom realized. Then ask yourself, what is it that binds you? Is it not what you formulate in your mind? And what you formulate you believe, and your belief binds you. If your beliefs bind you, then how can concentration on a belief free you? Are not our thoughts the result of the past? And if we do not understand how we are conditioned by our thought feeling, how can we go beyond it? Therefore, a thought feeling enslaves us to its creation, to its own power of illusion, if we are unaware of its ways. Only when we cease to formulate out of our thought feeling is there freedom, which is creative. If we wish to go towards the sun, why turn our backs on it? If we want freedom, why become slaves? Is it necessary to know that you are sober through drunkenness? Is it necessary to enslave ourselves to know freedom? If meditation is of the highest importance to us, then we must approach it rightly from the very beginning. Right meditation will bring right thinking. If the means is correct, then the end will also be correct. But the beginning is in the end, is it not? If we are ignorantly engaged in wrong meditation, it will never bring about right meditation. By killing another, how can you bring about tolerance and love? Only understanding will bring about freedom, and only right meditation will bring about right understanding. It is not the object of your meditation you must understand, but you who is the meditant. Without understanding yourself, your meditation becomes a process of self-hypnosis, inducing experiences according to your conditioning, according to your belief, which is binding and slavery. Therefore, right meditation is a process of freeing oneself. Wrong meditation is the process of illusion. Is it not so that we all want to understand our dreams? While the opposite is the case, the dreamer must understand himself, not his dreams. When he awakens from his self-hypnotic state, he will put an end to his dreams. If you seek to become something, if you seek it and through your meditation, then you will hypnotize yourself by your desire. Wrong meditation, you will now readily see, is a process of self-hypnosis. It may produce certain desired results, but such meditation does not bring enlightenment and freedom. Images may help you to concentrate, to focus your attention, but such concentration is not meditation. Concentration can be acquired, but what of it? Do you know yourself any better than before? You have acquired a new faculty, a new means through which you can do more harm if you do not know yourself. So of what value is concentration if it brings more misery in its wake? I am not saying that concentration should not be acquired, but right concentration comes when the mind is not formulating, and when you understand the formulations of the mind, they will cease, then concentration comes without effort. But to merely acquire concentration without understanding is stupid. You will see now that mere concentration narrows the mind-heart, which only strengthens its conditioning, with the result that you will still do harm to yourself and others. You will still create enmity and confusion. You will still be obstinate and bound by your formulations, your beliefs. Before you learn to concentrate, you should understand the whole structure of your being, not merely a part of it. The most difficult part to understand are the formulations of the mind and how they have come about. Then you will begin to understand yourself. Your thought, feeling, reactions are mostly the result of your formulations, your beliefs, are they not? Search yourself and see if this is not true. To tell yourself that you are free under these conditions is not only foolish but dangerous. To be watchful of the self brings self-knowledge and right thinking, because you will see what the mind is made up of. This must be done without apprehension, without judgment or condemning or identification. Then the mind will drop its cherished illusions, its conflicts, its contradictions, its opposites, its hates, its beliefs, and all its stupid formulations that are conditioning you. Then this self-awareness creates its own concentration, and such concentration is enduring and effective and not self-imposed through trying to become while retaining all these unruly inhabitants of the mind. When you understand your motives, your thought feeling, this understanding ever widens and deepens into a more comprehensive awareness. This awareness is essential for right meditation, and right meditation leads to freedom, and the real can only be experienced through freedom. Freedom is being now and not becoming. Why do most of us seek something outside ourselves to inspire us, an image of some kind or another? Is it not because we have become so mechanical through our conditioning, our lives became empty and dull? So we seek inspiration from some outside source, which becomes a necessity that enslaves us. Being enslaved, we have to free ourselves from our enslavement to discover the real, for the real can only be found in freedom. Is it not so that we seek any form of distraction because we are not interested in understanding ourselves? We seek outside ourselves for our inspiration because we have not discovered ourselves. Trying to become prevents the flowing of self-knowledge. The search in itself is devotion, it is in itself inspiration. The search must be impersonal, free from identifying, free from comparing or judging. For a mind that is caught up in this conditioning soon wearies and needs distraction. Therefore, so-called inspiration, all distraction, noble or otherwise, is idolatrous. For that which you worship prevents your freedom. You worship something you do not know, but we worship something we do know. If thought is caught up in the conditioned layer of consciousness, how can it go above and beyond it? Only through self-knowledge can this be done. We must begin to understand ourselves, then our meditation has great significance. Meditation then is being, which has its own eternal movement. It is creation itself, for the meditator ceases to be. I of myself am nothing. It is the Spirit of the Father within me that doeth the work. When this is understood, meditation is not the cultivation of the becomer, but through self-knowledge the meditator, the becomer ceases. Then the real expresses itself, being now in the ever-present. What is in the mind is memory, experience. Formulations are based on these. What is made out, formulated, is the known, and what is known is ever in the past. This is the burden that prevents the discovery of the timeless. Freedom from the past is necessary to experience that which is ever-present. To be in the ever-present is to be with the timeless. Memory is indispensable, for we could not communicate with each other without memory, but ever so much of our memory and experiences are binding and prevent understanding. It is this accumulated memory which becomes rigid and binding, facts which we hold on to which create antagonisms and division. When you see the binding process of the accumulated memory which gives continuity to the self, then you can get rid of the self, for the self is but the accumulation of memory and experience. The real is not the result of memory or experience. It is beyond this conditioned layer of consciousness. Unless you understand the conditioned self, how can you get beyond it? It is this accumulating memory, this self, that must come to an end. As long as thought feeling is identifying itself with the memories of yesterday, it will ever be in conflict and sorrow. As long as thought feeling is ever becoming, it cannot experience the bliss of the real. Love does not flourish through conditioned thought feeling, but through freedom. Love cannot be conditioned because it is beyond condition. Therefore, what is real is not the continuation of accumulating identifying memory. It is to this accumulation that one dies before love. The real can manifest. What is the world today? Is it not living in the accumulated memory of the past with all its misery and conflict? It is this confusion and conflict that is preventing the ever-present love life from manifesting now. Love life does not need to become, neither have we to create it. It is in the immediate now when we die to the past through understanding. The educated conditioned consciousness cannot comprehend that which is not a result, therefore it must die to itself. Otherwise it is creating barriers, results, that are ever enslaving itself. Only through self-awareness does this come to an end. You will come to know that the world without is the expression of the world within. The world without is the effect, the world within is the cause. This is the meaning of the words, "All power is given unto me in heaven and on earth." This is not a mere statement for the purpose of confirming an idea, but is proclaiming the truth. It is not the product of the imagination, nor can it be the product of the mind. It is substantial and stands as the foundation upon which the whole universe rests, and is the foundation of your life and mine. God created man in his own image and likeness. This is our being now. Then let it manifest now, for it is ever present. It is the Christ consciousness which is eternal and ever present. The Eternal formed me first of his creation, first of all his works in days of old. I was fashioned in the earliest ages, from the very first when earth began. I was born when there were no abysses, when there were no fountains full of water, ere he sunk the bases of the mountains, ere the hills existed, I was born, when earth and fields were not created, nor the very first clods of the world. When he set the heavens up, I was there. When he drew the vault or the abyss, when he made the clouds firm overhead, when he fixed the fountains of the deep, when he set the boundaries of the sea, when he laid foundations for the earth. I was with him then, his foster child. I was his delight day after day, playing in his presence constantly, playing here and there over his world, finding my delight in humankind. Prov. 8:22 to 3 liters. Benediction. O Eternal One, thou hast formed me within thy bosom. Thy love life to manifest through me. In my reality I was with thee while thou formed the earth and the heavens. Thy word filled me with joy, for thou didst express thyself, O Holy One. As I worked with thee in the vineyard of souls, I perceived the straying of the self that was made up of beliefs. At first I was sad, O Perfect One, but when I perceived that thou alone was eternal and ever present, I dissolved away the unreal, and then again I was as thou created me, as thyself, O Eternal One.